Welcome to the Miscellaneous Podcast.
All right.
After Dark.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hello. And welcome to the big night. I don't know, I got nothing. Let me get my microphone all set up.
You just was up pretty bad.
So did you. Well, I'll just turn off my camera, okay?
All right, man.
No, I'll leave it on. I don't really care. So, what's up? This is, so this will be After Dark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After Dark.
We haven't done one of these, in weeks. So.
I know, but everyone's starting back at work.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're all going to be cooped up again.
What do you mean?
I have a feeling this corona thing is going to... I mean, they're already doing, like, mandatory masks and shit.
Well, yeah, but they...
Because it's spiking back up again. I guess California had the largest spike since this whole thing started yesterday, the most recorded cases.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was... Yeah.
Can
you hear my parrot in the background?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Was
I supposed
to? No.
Like
I hear him.
I just hear my own echo. It's pretty bad now. So, but it's a man. Okay. So can I know you have a lot of things. Can I start real fast?
Yeah. No, whatever you wanted to talk about. Whatever I brought up.
I want to dance. Okay. So
I just want to dance, coach.
Yeah. You like smell. Okay. But no. So
no. Go ahead.
On the show Tuesday, we were talking about Epstein and that weird lady that was, I guess, his girlfriend. Yeah. And then I talked about. Yeah, hold on one second. Let me get this out. No problem.
Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell. There's been a whole bunch of theories about that, but I'll wait till we get started.
All right.
This is such a deep fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna get crazy. I've been reading a lot of stuff and watching a lot of news reports, and not by conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So I brought up the Chris what's his name? The guy from Soundgarden.
Chris Gordon.
Yeah, and the guy from
and
Linkin
Chester Park. Bennington. Yeah, Chester Bennington from Linkin Park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So here's my thing. Okay. So I liked that conspiracy theory that they talked about how they were doing a documentary about bad, the kid stuff, the bad stuff to kids. And they were slowly, Chris dies and then he dies because he tried adding more funding for that. I don't believe the side effect is what killed them. But you were texting me and you were saying there's a different thing to this, right?
Yes.
Or am I wrong?
Yeah. No. So when I went to Snopes, the guy who came out with the story has an online like metal news, a website. Well, he came up with his own theory that not necessarily of a documentary, but of exposing something. Excuse me. But what happened was when they investigated, so Chris Cornell had 9 broken ribs when they did the autopsy, and they said it was because of, from doing CPR. It's common, but 9 ribs is typically not how many gets broken. It's like 3. And there was also blood on the floor of the bathroom. Now, he had a gash on his head that night of the concert. You could actually see the gash, and he was missing hair. So that gash he already had before he committed suicide, right? So he didn't hit his head on the floor, and even that caused that puddle of blood, and there was no mention of a wound on his head or anywhere on his body to cause that blood to be on the floor. Well, the guy from this website, his name's Randy Cody, starts saying he talked to investigators, gives no name, says he talks to sources, doesn't cite them. So basically, he's being kind of discredited, but there are a bunch of other things that were going on in the background. So there was no documentary, from what I understand. It was, so Chris Cornell and his wife started up a youth like charity for kids that were abused. And the story was that they were getting ready to expose the Black Book, Epstein's Black Book. Now, I went back on YouTube and watched news reports from the very beginning, January of 2019. Epstein didn't get arrested till July of 2019 and was killed in August. Wait, is that right? Or was he arrested in June, killed July? Anyway.
I don't really know the timeline too well. I just know like when he was incarcerated, it didn't take long before they killed him. So
yeah, it was about a month. But so in this news report, they showed, and they didn't even call him Epstein. They called him Epstein because I guess he hadn't been busted yet. And, his name wasn't really in the news. But they even showed in this Black Book that he had a copy of, it showed names of these people, even Ghislaine Maxwell. So this was,
who's that?
6 months he's making this claim. Ghislaine Maxwell is the partner, basically the handler for Jeffrey Epstein, who's just been arrested a couple days ago. Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell, her father was involved with Mossad. So, she's grown up, been groomed. She's a daughter of a Mossad agent. Now, the guy who posed the deal with Epstein the first time he got arrested ended up working under Donald Trump as an attorney. He was a Miami attorney, district attorney who went on to work for Trump. And then he's the one who cut that sweetheart deal for Epstein. So Bill Barr, who's the attorney general right now, he is in the circle with Epstein. Bill Barr was headmaster at a private school called Dalton, and he actually hired Jeffrey Epstein as a teacher at that school. Epstein was a college dropout and wasn't even 21 yet. And Bill Barr gave him a teaching job at a prestigious private school. Now Bill Barr also wrote a book while Epstein was there. It was a science fiction book about these people who have child sex slaves. And they said a huge amount of the, the techniques to get these kids were used by Epstein were actually in the book, part of the book. Isn't that odd?
Yeah, very, very odd.
I think this is going to be messy.
What, the show?
But my thought... No. This whole situation with the whole situation with these people, and my thought has been that Ghislaine Maxwell hasn't been arrested. One, because she got that deal when Epstein was alive that she wouldn't be prosecuted, and I think they're trying to control what information she's gonna, let out. They could have had her. I think they were getting themselves situated for
okay.
what they were going to release. How were they going to prosecute her? What is she willing to say? They're only going to let out information.
How safe can they make her that she ain't going to die?
I think at this point, after Epstein, clearly if she dies, there's going to be even a bigger problem. But I think
people are just going to do what they did with Epstein. They make the joke he was murdered and they move on.
Yeah, because to be honest, he deserves it. So
they all deserve it. I mean,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
one thing. I mean, not to sound like a really weird guy, which I probably am, but like everybody looks at like a younger girl and like, hey, how you doing? But then the reality comes and they're like, that's a young girl. So they don't have that filter or whatever it's built in. Then, to them, they think it's free game, or maybe it's something totally different. I don't know. I can't ever understand that, nor do I want to. I'm just saying.
Well, they say a lot of people who are politicians and in politics, not just politics, but successful businessmen, are typically not narcissistic, but they have a lot of mania, either hypomania or to where they constantly have to be doing something because they crave that power. So maybe that's kind of the psychology. I mean, that's my guess, but it seems to be a common theme. It's
not a good theme either. You know what I mean?
No, it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. And I think what's worse is I think it's bigger than just these little rings. Groups of this going on. Imagine all the kids that have disappeared that you never heard anything about, or the ones that had never come forward, committed suicide, whatever.
I know
it's fucking heartbreaking.
It is, and there's a lot of things out there that's not good, and that's one of them. That's a big one. Yeah, because you feel for these kids. These kids didn't do anything wrong, so
no. It's just it's just the whole. I don't even want to think about it. It's really messed up.
I know, it makes you feel like you just want to punch someone as hard as you can just to feel better about it, So
yeah.
But so that was that one. There's so many sex cults and stuff out there. I mean, look at the Eyes Wide Shut. After that movie got made, the director gets killed. So it's if it's not the kids, it's some other kind of thing. I mean, people inherently are just stupid people who are just creepy man.
Yeah. Well, and then you have, Kevin Spacey, who was photographed at Buckingham Palace sitting in, her and him were sitting in the thrones at Buckingham Palace. So Kevin Spacey and Ghislaine Maxwell. And, he gets accused of sexual assault and then has 3 witnesses died. The 3 people that were accusing him of this, all 3 of them died. I don't even know 3 people that have died in the last 15 years that were personally.
We can go into hardcore with this, like with Hillary Clinton, but I want to talk about Danny Masterson. Do you believe that
man.
Like, here's what I don't get. I've heard many stories. My personal thing is that there's so many people coming out that maybe it's true. I mean, the same thing with Ron Jeremy. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he seems like a really nice guy, but I mean, that doesn't mean shit when it, whatever goes on behind closed doors. I can't understand why people think it's okay to do that. You would think they're famous, that they would have access to that kind of thing without having to do something like that. I mean, whose first thought is, I can't get sex, I'm just going to rape somebody. I'm just going to, just start grabbing on somebody.
A lot of people, now you can go with the whole argument. I know people are going to think I'm male chauvinist here, but because he's a famous guy, he was on that 70s show, he's very popular, he is relatively rich, they're going to come after him. Because, but then the other thing is, the other stories I heard, he's a Scientologist. And even with Tom Cruise, like people get their dates for them. But I don't know. I would hate to have that happen to me, whether it be, untrue, obviously, but just to deal with that, it's gotta be horrible.
Well, just
on the
being
victim side and the defendant side, or the plaintiff, whatever, the accused side,
Yeah. It, like you said, I think you can't believe every single person that comes forward with, because it could have been that they just regretted how it went. I don't know. It could be that, they actually had sex, so he can admit to that. But
Danny Masterson had small penis or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't get high when we have sex? Oh, damn it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Look, the Ron Jeremy thing to me just perplexed me. Because I'm like, you're a porn star who had sexual assault charges against you from girls that you went to their Hollywood things. Did they not? Did you promise them like a movie or something? You know what I'm saying?
I think the only assault that he could cause is shoving in that 12-inch pipe into another person.
Jeez,
that's the only assault But
did you ever watch that Surreal Life or whatever it was that was on Channel 11 for a little while? And they had
no.
So he was on one of the episodes. Tammy Faye Baker was on it, and so on. And
so
forth.
Yeah, like a reality show.
Yeah, and he brought all his porn star friends over, and Tammy Faye was like, "They're not that bad. I think they're pretty cool." La 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 la.
She wanted that D so bad.
And then when nighttime hit, he's friggin' they had to blur all the stuff out because he's just reaching for stuff and kissing all over titties and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's porn.
Yeah.
And
that's the hedgehog.
I think that could be it. He just assumes that these people he brings over he can manhandle. So, but then that's
he's entitled to them.
Yeah, and then
you mean because. That's another thing. Some of these women put themselves in positions to where, okay.
Look,
you don't know this person just because they're famous. You're putting yourself in a situation. Because I've had friends that have ended up in famous people's presence in a car or whatever, and they'll text, hey, this is getting awkward.
Yeah.
Well, why the fuck are you in the car?
Look at the Kevin Spacey thing where they have the text saying, I'm with him. He wants to have sex with me. And the girlfriend goes, you better have sex with him. I get that. I get it. But I cringe a little bit because I think when it comes to this, and this is my opinion, these girls, even though they know that they're probably going after the sex, they don't register it in their head that this is going to happen. It's that innocent fun, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh God, you really wanted to have sex with me. I thought I was this, for the thrill of the hunt. I don't know why I imitated like that. I'm sorry, ladies.
No.
That's what I look at it. Like when you do when you have an accident happen, and you're like, oh crap, I didn't think it was going to be like that bad of a firework blow up or something. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, well, and people do some really shady shit when it comes to famous people. So, I'm not friends with her anymore, but I used to, talk to her pretty often. But she was married to an NBA player. And she was telling me that these guys, when they go out on the road, a couple of them got caught up because these basketball groupies will have sex. They'll use a condom. These women immediately take the condom, they sneak it out and throw it in the freezer.
Yeah. Now,
and when they leave, they, you know what happens after that.
Look,
but I mean, it's that sort of shady shit going on.
See, and that's exactly my point. For all you listeners out there, most of us, not most of us, like the people on the show, we've been done wrong by women, or we have seen the wrong side of the tracks when it comes with women. So we're not saying that all women are like this, but we've seen enough to where, and experienced enough to where we know that women can be rougher than men when it comes to some of this weird crap. So it sounds sexist for us to say these things, but I don't know.
I don't think it's sexist. I mean, it's not because they're women. I think it's just they just happen to be women, and when there's a conflict like that, that's just what it is. Man,
I've had two girls, one poke a hole in the condom, which I discovered right away I put it on because it tore it, and I was like, "Oh crap! Did you pop this?" Kind of. Why would you admit to that? Kind of. Yeah, and then
like my friend who's taking the pregnancy pill.
Yeah, and then I had one that said while we were having intercourse, it came off. And she goes, "You don't need it. Just fine. It's fine." And I'm like,
"Just pull out."
Yeah, just pull out. And it was so casual that I almost bought into it. And then I'm like,
but it feels so good. It's like, oh, this condom just feels awesome now. I'm going to buy these again.
No.
God damn.
It was some El Cheapo ones you got at the gas station. No, it was in the bathroom. The bathroom ones, man.
Oh, no.
But
like
no,
funny
I'm
color.
like, I don't know you very well. I kind of know you. I really like you, but you're also a renegade too. This girl that did that, and I'm like, I had to step down, man. That was hard to do. I'm not gonna lie, man, but I was a bigger man.
Yeah,
okay.
I learned this. I learned this in my mid-20s that because I'd seen guys, have one-night stands or just hook up with girls at parties that they really weren't going to be with, end up getting them pregnant. Mm-hmm. So my first thought is, if I'm gonna sleep with, if they get pregnant, can I put up with them for the next 18 years? Can I put up with? And that's just, if she's a normal girl, doesn't do anything shady, can I put up with this person? And then you really got to be careful.
I have a different philosophy on that.
I do it anyway.
I guess because a lot of my friends have these issues where they get, the relationship doesn't work and there's a kid involved. Best way to put it. And they have these horror stories. And to me, I'm just like, why are you engaging in them? Just don't talk to them. Just, go whatever you need to do, pay the money the court says to do, and see your friggin' kid and try to be in their lives. But when they start getting crazy, like my buddy, I'm not going to say his name because he listens to the show and I don't want him to be embarrassed, but we were at his house. We were watching Twilight. Don't judge me. And he gets a phone call. And he's yelling. Oh, no. You could hear her yelling back at him. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, he goes, yeah, drop her off. And hangs the phone, puts it down. He looks at me and he's like, I was like, what was all that about? He's like, oh, we don't get along, but we're great with the kid. I was like, okay, that's perfect. And that's kind of what I think they are, just like that kind of thing. But then there's many friends who will argue and fight and be all up in it. And it's crazy. I know. I'm sorry.
No. I had a friend in a similar situation. So he, this was a few years back, but he was graduating high school, and senior year, this girl got pregnant. Well, she was, causing all sorts of trouble. I'm gonna keep the baby from you unless you give me this, give me that. Well, after the baby was born, it didn't look like him. So she had been getting all this stuff and claiming she was going to do this and that.
No.
Got a paternity test, and it wasn't his.
Dude, that's... now, how long was he paying before that found that out?
Like giving her stuff? Yeah. Over a year. I mean, the baby was about a year old. Aww. And it started from the time she found out she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. She claimed, I didn't mess with anybody. I don't need to take a test. Oh, I got a test, and
then Maury Povich found out.
Right,
you are not.
You were not the father. And then he did his little crip dance off the stage.
The crip dance. Oh,
yeah, stacking signs, doing his crip dance.
Oh yeah. I told you. Oh man, dude. Oh God. Look. You talked about this, and I'm going to bring this up because this is my embarrassment here. I edited Bombshell. I put it in my external hard drive. Now I have to go through all the shows to find it because it's not labeled.
All you have to do is click on every single file and sort by the last date modified.
Yeah, but I don't remember the date that we did that on either.
I can tell you.
Really? That's great. Text it to me, and then I'll use that as my reference point. Because that'd be great.
God.
No, but your best of, or whatever I want to call it, that I was thinking about, like, having all those lined up in a row, dropping several different ones from like All of Us and stuff like that, just because I like the new dynamic of just let it fly. So there we go. Other than the Epstein thing, and
froze. I didn't. You froze up. I didn't hear.
You did too. Just start all over again. Just
What did I say?
Look, other than the Epstein thing, and all that, I covered over what I wanted to say. So other than that, I got nothing else. What about you?
Okay.